You can support this show at patreon.com/ASA podcasting.
Fallout is pretty as snow when the ash starts to glow. The feel of radiating through your home. Fallout is pretty as snow when the ash starts to glow. The feel of radiating through your home. Fallout is pretty as snow when the ash starts to glow. The feel of radiating through your home. Fallout is pretty as snow when the ash starts to glow. The feel of radiating through your home.
Hello and welcome to the 443rd edition of the Fallout Feed. I am Andrew, joined by a flock of my favorite Fallout folks tonight. I've got Ray. What's up, Ray?
Hello, hello.
And Jess. What's up, Jess?
Evening, Andrew. Greets, everybody.
Happy holidays, guys. This, we usually do some sort of Christmas episode. I guess we're just rolling with a normal episode tonight. On the show tonight, we've got a Fallout Christmas sale game for game time. Solior sent in some feedback last week, but we did a little bit of a different episode last week. So check that out if you have not had a chance to hit your podcatcher up. Good bit of Iguana Bits this week, and people are already rolling in the Scorecation shouts. I can't believe it. I'm not even close. So. But that's the way it usually is. Anyway, so.
Sensing the temperature out there, Andrew, I think a lot of people are in their 40s now, 40s to even 50. But, I'd say 40 is probably the average among our crew.
Oh, nice. Good. So I'm around 57. I know Ray is negative 10, 11 by now, something like that.
It's hilarious that last week we dragged him into 76 on that expedition for the live show.
Oh, no.
But he was on Xbox, so we could pretend it never happened. And we were in custom for most of it, so he got no score. Like, none of the XP score or anything.
I appreciate you accommodating me on that level.
Everything I could do to accommodate your score retirement.
Just for a second there, I was like, oh my God, did he gain experience? It's like, no. Good deal.
I'm good.
You're all good. It's still no score. No score. All right, guys. So that'll be the show tonight. So let's go ahead and roll right into it with our gameplay like we usually do right off the top of the show here. Ray, did you get a chance to play any video games the last 2 weeks besides our super fun expedition over there to Atlantic City?
I did manage to play some video games. It was
over 2 weeks you played video games?
It was a little more challenging than typically. So we recorded an episode of the Skyrim Addict earlier this week, and I elaborated on my Skyrim debacle.
Ooh, yes. Oh, deeper into the world of creations.
Yeah. So, since I don't really, none of my characters are precious. The only time I really care about any particular character is if we're doing a roundtable or something like that, and I need to preserve that character. But that makes me a little reckless when it comes to modding. And with the Skyrim Creations update, I was horribly reckless and ended up completely trashing my Skyrim game. It took me 4 or 5 days to get it back running again. I ended up going in and reverting back. Steam has a database where you can go back and load old versions of games, and so I went back and loaded the previous version of Skyrim before Creations, and Unfortunately, it still was not as smooth as I would like because I had also run a couple of updates on some mods, and so things were out of whack, and it was all trashed and corrupted saves, and slowly but surely got it all pieced back together. The big giant collection that I was running, they ended up pulling it off of Nexus. Um, but not until after I deleted it and then couldn't reload it. So um, it was it was an interesting time. But I've got Skyrim back. It's you know it is still rocking and rolling. So I was a little more cautious when I was dealing with the latest Starfield update. I was a little more meticulous in my modding. So the update came out on the 11th. It was the .88 update, but I just today did the update. Now there were two of the mods that I was running that the mod authors no longer are participating in Starfield mods. So the Starfield radio and the mod that helps you run console commands before the game starts, so that you can. In this case, the mod that I'm running, it makes the registration fee for ships more reasonable. Fortunately, both of those mods, the mod authors had open sourced their software, and so somebody else was able to come in and make a new version of those two mods. So I've got those both back loaded and running. Everything else is going smooth. So we'll see. I'll I'm looking forward with anticipation and also a little bit of fear and loathing for the Starfield creation update. So we'll see how that goes.
Certainly, you might not be as in deep on the mods there, but I know you have some that you really rely on and can't imagine playing without at this point.
Yeah, for sure. Which it'll be interesting to see. So so yeah, that I'll worry about that when I have to worry about it. But the yeah, the games are still running, so it's all good. Just start a new character and you're good to go. Still having a lot of fun. I'm about I'm I'm to the point with my latest very hard character that they're too powerful, and so it's not nearly as much fun. And so I'll probably start a new one of those pretty soon. It goes pretty quick. By the time you're level 16, 17, you've got, legendary mag shears, legendary, big bangs, legendary hard targets, all these just massive guns that get you out of a lot of trouble really quick. And then also advanced and superior armors, things that weren't meant for characters until they were, level 40 or 50. You're picking up, between levels 8 and 16. But it's a lot of fun getting there because you definitely are getting your butt kicked a lot, which makes it a lot of fun. So, I saw a message from Game Pass that Far Cry 6 was available on Game Pass now. So I loaded that from my PC Game Pass, and got started on that. The Far Cry games are a lot of fun. I haven't figured out if there's fishing yet or not. That was my favorite part of Far Cry 5 was the fly fishing.
Oh,
So
sweet.
yeah.
I've never played one, but the commercials always look. I'm always like, those games look fun. But I've never actually played one.
Yeah. I really enjoyed Far Cry 5. So I I'm not really sure where they pull their data from for um, the Steam year in review highlights, because it says that Starfield was my number one game at 32% of playtime.
With how many hours does it say?
No, it just says 255 sessions played,
What?
and I have no idea what that means.
What does that mean? Yeah,
that-
that's really strange.
Session
Yeah.
set when you,
And,
log in or whatever?
And so it's got like 10% more time than No Man's Sky that I played a lot all year long. And
That could be accurate. You have put a lot of time into Starfield.
yeah, but I mean, not that much time.
Maybe it's been out 4 months and you're probably at like what, 600 hours played at least.
Past that.
Yeah, exactly. This is what I'm saying. I do love these year in review Steam statistics. It does seem like they're incomplete though a lot of the time. I totally agree with that. My Xbox, I got my year end stuff, and it was neat to see the breakdown. I mean, on that, not breaking up with anything. And Starfield was number 1, followed by Fallout 4, number 2, and Fallout 76 fell to number 3 slot for the first time in 5 years.
Dear Xbox.
Yeah, so I have 671 hours in Starfield.
How do you look that up, Jess?
I can get you the link so you can look it up in a little bit, because it's fun to go through your whole year in review. But I think the way that you start with Vortex and stuff, Ray, I wonder if it doesn't track all your time on some things, on some games.
Could be. Yeah, because that's pretty much the way that I keep from, having my games update without my direct control, is because I don't start them, from the Steam launcher. So, some of the more disturbing statistics, it says that I've unlocked 44 achievements. And, that's just
very
wrong.
Upsetting.
That's wrong.
I'm so sorry for your achievements. You just want to abide.
and then the one that really has me scratching my head, because I have no idea, how they measure this, but my longest streak is 116 days.
A streak. So that's if you log into a game every day. And was that for No Man's Sky or for Starfield?
It doesn't say. It says 6 games played from Friday, July 14th to Tuesday, November 7th.
So it's just as long as you log into any game on Steam every day, that's a streak. That's a good run, Ray. I'm sorry that you had to take a day off.
Yeah, so I don't know. I didn't go on vacation. I'm just not sure why it's so short.
Andrew, I'm sending you the link. I'll drop it in the chat so you can get your Xbox year-end stats in just a second, okay?
Woo! It'll be like all those people who are posting them for Spotify last week.
Hey, so it's exactly like your Spotify Wrapped. Absolutely. Absolutely. But yeah, a few of us were sharing our Xbox stats or Steam stats on Twitter.
Steam? Do you use Steam, Jess?
Yes, but my Steam only played Fallout 1 and Fallout 76 this year, and like maybe like 5 hours of Stellaris, I think. So it was not very diverse.
Hey, that's totally A-okay.
Yeah. So my whatever the streak is, it definitely pegged the meter on that because it has your median you know measure against other players, and that meter is pegged for me on that stat.
Oh, wow. My time has gone up. So I did my year in review. Sorry, in order to pull it up for you, Andrew, I pulled it up for myself. I put another like over 40 hours of gameplay since I ran it like a week ago. Interesting.
Nice.
Here you go. The link is in your chat. Actually, you know what? I'm going to drop it into our Discord chat too, in case anybody following along in Discord wants to check out their Xbox stats.
And I assume PlayStation also has a version.
Yeah, PlayStation has a year in review. Like all the services like to do that. I think a lot of companies have realized people like numbers, especially nerds, especially gamers. So they're like, yeah, here you go. Your achievements. I mean, except Ray, of course. Ray doesn't want achievements, but stats are okay.
Oh, how dare you gave me achievements. What's the beef with achievements again, Ray?
Oh, it's just not anything I pay any attention to.
It's just stupid.
It's just, I achieve what I want to achieve in a game, not what somebody else wants to achieve in a game.
Ooh, I played a shooter this year.
Really? What game do you play that qualified as a shooter?
I don't know.
Besides Fallout 4?
I don't know how to navigate this. Does Fallout count as shooters? I guess they technically are.
I mean, no. Obviously they're an action RPG, but it is FPS style and is more of a shooter than most of the other games.
Fallout 4 was my top. Huh. God, it's tight though. It's like
so. What's your total time? How does it work? We know you stay logged in too, so your total hours might be a little skewed. But I'm curious.
It's like 2,300 hours on Fallout 4.
Holy cow knockers. And obviously you did not play that much.
No. It's sitting on that's with it sitting on the menu for hours and hours.
Yeah,
and
you use the quick resume.
And 2,200 hours on 76. Shelter was my third. I cannot believe Fallout Shelter was my third most played game on Xbox. That's funny.
That is neat. So how many games did you play? That's a fun stat there.
Where do you see that?
So at the top you get 2023 highlights.
Total games. 22. And I bet you that's probably Mo playing most of those.
Yeah. Mo did 18 of them. You probably did 4, but still.
I played 4 games, and 3 of them were Fallout games. So,
as it should be. But this year that would be 4, 76, and Shelter, right?
Yeah, exactly. Right. Just the 3 Fallout games alternate whichever we're playing for roundtables that year. That's basically how that goes.
That's brilliant. I dropped it in Discord, Ray, if you want to click. I'm just curious how much time you spent on Xbox.
17 minutes.
I've got 41 games. My top gameplay month was September, which, as you know, I didn't sleep in September. I just played Starfield, so that makes sense. My Starfield hours are now at 502. You're still ahead of me, Ray, but I'm getting there. That's funny to see because my save file is only at like 310, 320, but another 150 hours or so from falling asleep, dying and reloading, all kinds of things, I suppose.
How's top gameplay month calculated exactly? What
month you were logged in for the most hours? So if someone like you who doesn't log out.
Yeah, if my Xbox just logged in permanently, then every month is top gameplay month. All right.
And then there's gamer score. My goal is to always get 15,000 gamer score a year. And I started slacking when 76 came out, but this year I got 13,000. So not too bad.
I got 18.
18,000 gamer score?
18.
You're a beast. Oh, okay. Hey, we got some people in chat trying it out too. So Clint has 31 of 50 Starfield achievements. Excellent, Clint. Ammo Ninja. Dwight is in chat, says, my son uses my profile when he stays up all night playing Tom Clancy and Fortnite, so my PS numbers are skewed. Yeah.
No fucking way, Dwight's in the chat. What up, Dwight? So, how do you earn gamer score exactly? Because I got 450. That sounds terrible, right?
Those are for achievements. Well, only if you're competitive. It's not actually terrible. It's perfectly fine if you're playing a game that you've already got all the achievements and you're not going to get more achievements. Right. So if you're just playing 76, you got them all, first couple of years. So
they're trying to get you to just play a lot of different games on Game Pass or whatever.
Yeah, Game Pass or buy more games, of course. That's always good too. Clint's sharing his Steam year in review. One new game, 4 games played, all Fallout and Starfield. Excellent, Clint.
So 76 didn't even show up in my Xbox review.
What? What game showed up? Did anything?
Yeah, so I played 26 hours in No Man's Sky, 9 hours of Rage 2, and 9 hours of Redfall.
That's a lot of Xbox, actually. Yeah. Not bad, right?
Yeah,
anyway,
so I wonder if... So there's no way that I played 9 hours of Rage 2 on Xbox.
So it might be counting your PC if it's Play Anywhere?
It's got to be, it's got to be, if I loaded it, so No Man's Sky is pure Xbox, but I have the Game Pass version of Rage 2 and Redfall on PC. So those hours are from PC. But yeah. So
it's really neat. Well, we didn't mean to interrupt your gameplay with all this stats talk, but you were talking stats.
That was the end of my gameplay. Was my year in review.
That is awesome. It's a really fun thing to look at. Like I said, I mean, I just feel like people really enjoy it. So it's cool that a lot of these services put it out. Yeah. And, it lets us kind of think about things, evaluate just reevaluate how much time we spend in games and say, yeah, maybe I'll do more next year.
Yeah. So September was my number 1 month for gameplay on Steam.
I think that's going to be for a lot of people with the Starfield launch. Sillior just shared his. September was his top 2. That was the month.
There's a field down below. Here's how you stack up with other players.
Oh boy, how do you stack up with other players, Andrew? Top 1%?
I'm terrible, of course. There's 2 of them that are they all the same category? I don't know if you can scroll down and see. You
get hours played, you get gamer score, and you get achievements unlocked. I believe
exactly. Yeah. So I got 35% at 2 of those. Not the world's best, but I got I'm in the top 5% of players for hours played just because I leave my Xbox on all the time.
Actually, no, I mean, yes, but I'm top 5% as well. I almost wonder if they top out at top 5%, because when you look at the stats, and I've seen some people who put over 900 hours into 76 this year, and it still shows top 5% of hours played. So I think maybe that's the highest they show.
There's just no way that I'm play the top 5% of people who play games on Xbox.
No, it does not cap out at 5%. Because I was in the top 40% of players.
Oh, right. No, it'll go lower. But I don't think it goes any higher than 5%.
Top 2%. Right.
Right.
So we're all the best at 5%. Good job, guys.
Just a quick note. Dwight got 250 hours on Xbox, all Starfield. Welcome to the Xbox fam for that. And that's perfect. Just the 1 game. That's like me on Steam. Just the 1 or 2 games.
He's a convert. Welcome to the one of us. one
Not-
of us.
So awesome. I'm getting the iguana bit set and ready to go in a little bit. Got a few things to talk about today. So that was all your gameplay, Ray?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you
It's
get into
been-
anything there, Jess?
Oh, I did.
Yeah.
I did load a mod that um, is a huge quality of life mod for anybody that likes building ships, and that is it unlocks all of the different modules at your outpost shipbuilder. So no more building your ship, except for, the two parts that you want that you have to get from Hope Tech or, from Titan.
That's a great mod. Oh my gosh. If they could allow us to unlock that at our outpost just via skill or something, that would be a wonderful update.
Yeah. So it's still, you still have to be at the right level and have the right starship design to be able to access the parts. But there isn't anything, like the Hope Tech cross habs. You can build those in your outpost builder now, instead of flying to Hope Town with your ship all connected and then having to separate it out to put the habs in. So
that's a really good
definitely
improvement.
Loving
And
that one.
it's something that I hope comes to the game for sure, because it is ridiculous to fly around a half-built ship. It's kind of like when you're moving across town and all you got is station wagons, you just like strap things to the roof and sticking out the window, and you're totally not legal, and it looks completely ridiculous, but you just kind of try to trundle across town. My ship's like that, so I'll like stick 2 or 3 halves to the outside and a few other things just like sticking at some weird angle while I go to the place to find the thing to actually finish attaching them and make it look right. And it's a goofy system.
Yeah. So I was happy to get that one going.
Maybe if we weren't as picky about what we want and just, built easily the components available. But hey, we got to be creative. We've got ideas.
Yeah. I mean, there's certain things you got to have.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So my gameplay, well, I mean, we did do a show last week, sort of, with the expedition, and that was a lot of fun. People listening. So that did only go into your feed on Thursday, because when Andrew edits, you usually get it Saturday or Sunday. When Jess edits, you usually get it Monday or Tuesday. But that one took a little more editing and I was kind of busy. So sorry it took a little while, but give us feedback on what you thought about it. Do you enjoy the live shows? Because we got good feedback the first time we did it. This time was a little bit more silly. This was more of a kind of silly live stream where we podcasted, but we also just kind of talked through it. I like to say, in some ways, what we do with feedback, like some places do walkthroughs or let's plays, we kind of do talk throughs here, the way we talk through our quests. And then we just kind of did that live on the stream, So, let us know what you thought about it. And if you enjoyed it, found it amusing, or even possibly a little educational. Said we weren't.
Yeah. I mean, it's not easy. I try not to talk with my mouth full.
Yeah, well, your mouth was full a few times during that stream. The running cannibalism gag is the best. When you guys, when you're in game with Ray or another cannibal, I don't know that many, but when you are, like, just the fact that you're out here doing gameplay, maybe checking your stash, adjusting your weapons, the usual, and then out of the corner of your ear, you just hear, no.
Yeah,
it's very disconcerting.
And the occasional belch.
Yes, absolutely. The belch. Oh my goodness. It's mouth noises, y'all. Mouth noises. Anyway, so we had fun with it, and I hope if you guys get a chance to listen back that you do too. So we did about an hour of going through some of the new things in the update, playing the expedition, and then a little bit of time doing a bit of a pigcorn, and then checking out my new event I'm building, Dweller Drop, which you guys, I was really happy with how much you enjoyed that.
It was fun.
You have a winner if it's not even live with like real score and people are just keeping on playing. So That was awesome. I'm
You
glad
know-
about that.
You know the way he cut in line. It's my turn.
Well, I realized after we did that, so I still am finishing the boards, but I think I need to introduce fire. I think in the center of the board on one of them, I should have a pressure plate, and when you land on there, it'll set off like either all kinds of Tesla coils or flames and roast your corpse, and that'll be like worth extra points because they'll be serving up the Christmas roast.
Roasted turkey, Jess.
Oh, that's the best. That's the best. So yeah, that was fun. For gameplay, so because it has been 2 weeks, I think I said last episode, because last podcast normally right after the Game Awards, that I was downloading Baldur's Gate, and that was going to be my impetus to push a little bit further on Starfield and try to wrap Starfield up, because I don't want to start Baldur's until I'm done with Starfield. So I did manage to focus more on Starfield than Fallout or anything else the last 2 weeks in Starfield. So I'm still not done though, because focusing and trying to maintain forward momentum doesn't mean you're going to. I still did some shipbuilding adjustments, and I still went and ground up some levels. My character's level 67 now, really close to 68
Dude.
if I'm not.
Getting up there.
Mm-hmm. Not bad for no New Game Plus yet. Which still some people find weird, but I'm doing every quest I can. I've exhausted even more quests in Neon, but I have found a few. And going forward in the story, so there comes a point, and to avoid spoilers, I'll put it like this. Okay, so quasi spoiler, if you are worried about even the slightest spoiler, skip a minute or two. But I won't actually spoil it. So there is a point where there's a quest that causes something definitive to happen that changes the characters you can travel with in the story. I started the quest that leads to that quest, and the options I was given made me realize what the likely outcome was. And I didn't like either likely outcome. I was like, no, because it has been spoiled for me. And I'm like, no, I cannot have either of these things happen. So I backed up about an hour or so to another save, and I'm traveling with someone else. And we're having great times together. I've done about 10 hours of different missions and side missions and rescues and quests and trying to find more stuff to do. I'm finally finishing First Contact, because I hadn't finished that one. And the whole time I'm doing this, I'm like, you're going to be my sacrificial lamb. This is horrible. I'm a horrible person. But sometimes you got to make choices. So Clint's asking if I've been to the Unity. No, I haven't. I haven't been to the Unity yet. I'm not even there in the story. So it's high price to pay is the mission coming up. High price to pay. And I don't want to pay the price that I'm going to have to pay. So that's why I went backwards. And Barrett and I are just having a great time across the universe. Sorry, Barrett.
No, you're not.
And for the longest time, I thought, New Game Plus just seemed like the weirdest thing to me, because, what's the point of, just continually playing the same game over and over? And then I discovered that there are a lot of different options that, New Game Plus can take on. Unfortunately, you can do it 30 times and not see any of them.
Yeah.
Hopefully, that's something that I guarantee you'll get modded.
So when you go through the Unity with New Game Plus, for those, without talking with, once again, the story specifics of it, you get a chance of, in a new game, normally it'd be like, hey, you keep some of your stuff, in this case, your skills, but the world is all starting fresh. And now with Starfield, it's fresh, but there are going to be some changes, some very interesting changes. Sometimes what I've read is that there's a 15% chance of an unusual starting world. Is that what you've heard too, Ray? About 15%?
I haven't really heard any stats on it.
Okay. But yeah, so if you save before you go through Unity, you can keep, just loading and saving, going through until you get something different, which you can determine pretty quickly in your playthrough. So yeah, that's an option. But I hear there are a bunch people still finding them, or at least talking about them. One thing that's funny about a game like this is that I'm sure all of them were discovered in the first couple of weeks, but some people discovering them, maybe not first couple of weeks, but first month or two, something like this. But not everyone's talking about what they found or what it means to them. So they might not even know they got something really unusual or different, which is really neat. So that's where I am in Starfield anyway. Having great fun. Indigo Strike. I love my ship. I love the battles. I did. I think I mentioned last week. Yeah, I did mention last show about discovering that I can modify. If you have a ship that disappears on you, you can modify it as long as you make another ship your home ship. When you do so, change it and save it first, change it, and then switch the other one back to your home ship, and it'll be fine. So that saved me a lot from some of the trouble I was having. You also can still sell a ship that isn't registered. It can take it's not as reliable, but I have found that it works. You just on a controller. You can't do it on keyboard, from what I understand. But got it done on a controller, which is great because I got a Varun Prophecy 3, which, man, those are chonky boys. Those are big, big ships. They're like ice cream sandwiches, just like more like Klondike bar, actually. It's so big. but yeah, it was like 97,000
you could pay
credits.
them that way too, because they are 3 levels.
That would be perfect. I got to do that some more. We're going to do, oh my gosh, a new line of ships. You got Oreo, you got double stuff. Maybe name one Hydrox, but if it's a little bit wacky. Anywho, that's my Starfield play. So some fun with it, getting some great pictures and stuff. I've been hitting the Starfield virtual photography hard because while I'm in there, that's what I do. And a lot of fun. On the Fallout tip. So for Fallout, technically I was in 4 Fallout games this week because I was grabbing just a little bit of video in Fallout 3, New Vegas, 4, and of course 76, because I am, and some of you may have heard, I'm working on a little Christmas video. So what I wanted to do was a music video for our Fallout feed Christmas song that Andrew did as Red Queen Hypothesis, and the Fallout feed chorus jumped in. And so y'all have heard that song starting the show the last couple of weeks. So I'm doing the full version, with maybe a few like little extra things around it. And I'm mixing in a bunch of holiday camps from Fallout. So all kinds of people's version of Christmas in the Wasteland, all kinds of Santas and Wasteland fun. And then I'm getting pics of Diamond City, the lights. I went to Little Lamplight to get the lights there. And like the love machine, your home, your my megaton house. I'm like, what has Christmas lights in it? Oh, wait, the love machine house theme you can buy from Moira. So we got a little love machine in there. New Vegas, couldn't really think of anything too Christmassy. So I just walked down the strip. Well, I mean, this may not I'll make it in the video, but just I'm trying to grab all these little things to put together for a video, and we'll see what comes out. So I'm going to bang that out the next 2 days and hopefully have it out on Christmas Eve. That's the goal, because who wants to listen to a Christmas song on January 20th, on February, what month is it? December 26th. but
February
it
really
may not get done on time. we'll see. I'm going to try. Yeah, I'm also extraordinarily sleepy because I was capturing footage late this morning and then didn't sleep well and had a nice full work day still today. So Fallout 76, besides our stream, we did our PC cat fights finally that we had to put off at Elgato Pub. I think I mentioned those were coming up. It was fun to do an event again. The reason I want to mention them is not only is it one of the very last cat fights, all we have left is now a grand championship before we're kind of retiring cat fight nights, which you said is the last year cat fights all along. But yeah, this is really the second to last actual fight now that we just did. But we got griefed for the first time in a while, you guys, and we actually had to hop servers.
What form does that take?
It wasn't necessarily as bad as some. Like in the past, we've had people, like for instance, using stealth boys or going invisible, crouching in the middle of the ring and just getting in the way of everybody, making sure that they get hit so that they can then turn around and kill you, and get the pacifist off and initiate PvP. We've had people shooting fat mans in the ring and stuff like that, but that kind of stuff hasn't been as much of an issue the last year or two. Like the first years.
Have there been any really creative and funny ones, or are they all just like dickheads?
Mostly just dickheads.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to pull that off in a creative and funny way.
Yeah, to be fair, I do find that the invisible crouching and making that happen, and then using Tesla reacts is a pretty good one. That it is kind of creative. If you have the legendary perk that lets you shock people and such.
Oh, right.
Yeah, that's kind of neat. And there are people who put on some pretty funny outfits who griefed us, but not that many. And, I'm not going to necessarily highlight griefing tactics. Yeah, exactly. Like, let's not see your creativity griefing. But no, this week was just he came down to the locker room, and then there were a couple of them, and just kind of getting in the way of things, stepping in the middle of things, stepping into the ring, fighting themselves, which is cool. But a lot of times when it happens, the last 2 years, if people get in the way and start doing a little bit, you send them a message and they're like, oh, cool. I didn't know this was an actual thing. Like, they're like, oh, hey, there's a ring. There are people fighting. I'll wait my turn. Nobody in the ring now. Let me go and do it. It's really not a problem if they jump in while you're in there. But this person was trying to do that and trying to initiate PvP with the combatants and stuff. And then they brought their friends. So, yeah, but, at this point, you've done it long enough. You block, you hop servers. If everybody you're on with a group, you just block them so they can't follow you to the next server. And then you all jump and hop to a new server. As long as you can find one where you can load in, it's not that bad.
The old block and hop.
The old block and hop. 5 years of 76. These are some of the things we've learned.
You have strategies at this point.
Mm-hmm. This week also marked the return of Everything Camp. And my first, besides the theater stream, my first stream since July. Well, and our stream and all the streams I joined in on. Okay, my first UWN stream in a few months, and
except for all the other hundreds of streams I've done.
Well, it's funny because I am on with Gato and I'm on with a few of our friends and stuff. But for a big organized thing for camps, it was wonderful to go back and see some camps. And we want to do a Christmas camp thing. I'm like, what do I want to do for the holidays? Obviously, Christmas camps only make sense. And that was also a way to rope people in to let me record their camps for this Christmas video. See, it's a whole plan. It's and it came together. We got some wonderful camps. My friend Rux and I, we went from a tree lot. We had a tree lot. We had a coal and reindeer refining facility, which I got the coal refining, but the reindeer, I was mildly horrified.
Refining reindeer. Awesome.
We got to the meat of the matter pretty quickly.
I see what you did there.
There was beautiful grandma's home. Someone built a grandma's house at Christmas from the 80s that it was perfect. All, like the wood built-ins, like the wood built entertainment center, the old wallpaper, the shag rug, perfect. Just a really fun grandma's house. I got to see a gingerbread house. So all kinds of fun stuff. So that was really great too. So I definitely got some good gameplay in this week. And that's most of it. I did a little scoreboard grinding, I guess, every week for the last 3, because the first week of the season, I didn't really play much, as you know. But the last 2, then, I went in, I did all my weeklies. I did dailies a couple times at night. And so I'm up to level 42, at least, on the scoreboard. I might be up to 50, because I think I bought a few levels with my extra atoms. So doing well there. I don't have many presents yet. So people know it's double XP weekend right now, by the way, people. Double XP weekend. While you're listening to us, you should be out there, getting XP. But
hey, now, let's not be rash.
Oh, I'm sorry. Listen to us and get XP.
There you go.
And Prezzies, because it's Christmas. Jingle Scorched are back. And the new plans, they're great. There are some great plans this year, but they're elusive. The drop rate is a little low. And we've seen from Fashnock and everything else, the more they add to the possible list, the lower the percentage for any given item is going to be. So you add 10 new items, you have definitely reduced the drop rate of getting a specific item. But also, sometimes they do it so you can't get duplicate plans, which sometimes people complain about. Like, for instance, with the Sporched at Halloween, you could get duplicates of the old plans, but you couldn't get dupes of the new plans. And that actually makes it more likely you're going to get something new. Well, this time for Jingle Scorched, you can get dupes of the plans. So people like that generally. They're like, oh, great, I can get dupes. So I don't need to worry about reading them and learning it and not getting this anymore. But if they do that, if you can get dupes, you might get 4 of a specific item, like 4 of the Santa sleigh or 4 of, the plastiform, the plastiform snowflake. Yeah, whichever one. And so, sorry, that's the honeycomb paper snowflake and the plastiform. Yeah. Anyway, so there's give and takes to all that and the drop rate. But I wish everyone a very lucky Jingle Scorched present opening. I hope you get the one you're looking for. Just remember, take your time when opening. We've suspected for a long time that it's better to open them slow. And Angry Turtle just did a video testing it taking his time with it and, actually like doing the math around it. And it does seem like when you open them slower, you have a better chance of getting more diverse and new plans. And that's partly because sometimes it might pop up you're receiving a plan, but because you're opening them so fast, they're not all popping into your inventory. So you're even running a risk of getting a plan on the RNG, but not actually receiving it because you're just trying to do too many all at once. So yeah, take your time with that. Up your luck. If you can have a way to up your luck, and you have a better chance of getting a good plan. And just good luck out there. So that's pretty much my gameplay. It's been a good, busy, fun week.
Why did they remove the ammo thing?
Yeah, the contextual ammo for the one you're holding.
Yeah, that's
I don't know because they did.
Bummer. That was
they
my
probably
favorite
didn't mean
part
to.
about all of this. You know what I mean?
They probably didn't mean to. I mean, I think they meant to reduce the amount of ammo you got, but I don't know if they were meant to remove the contextual ammo. You still get it from pails, don't you?
I don't know if I have any pails sitting around. I think I've opened all of them.
I'm swimming in shells right now, my shotgun shells, so I don't really pay that much attention to it. Because the contextual ammo drops from, enemies are still really a thing. They did reduce the amount there too, a little bit, but I still get plenty. I assume only people who use like 5mm and stuff like that, they're probably suffering the most.
You know who was also swimming in shells?
Who was swimming in shells?
Ariel.
You're not telling any tales there. She was indeed.
Oh, boy.
Clint mentions in chat in Fallout 4, you can set the date to 25th December and visit Diamond City. Exactly. So here's what happened to your girl, Jess, last night. And another reason why she's extra sleepy today.
Uh-oh.
So I couldn't load an old character with those mods because my mod list for survival was entirely different. I only have a very few hard saves in survival mode because you can't usually get them. So I had to use, a mod to be able to make a hard save every couple of weeks in game or what have you. So I found one and my current mod load order for the survival character on this one where I could go in and I could get to Christmas. It was about 14 days before, maybe 15 days before. Well, in survival mode on console, you can't just set the date. You have to go to bed and sleep 24 hours. So it's click, set to 24, and watch it tick down slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4. When a girl is sleepy doing this, trying to get through 14 days at this rate, I drifted off like 3 or 4 times trying to sleep, like trying to get my character sleep. I was drifting off, but only half asleep on the couch. It took me almost an hour at least to get to the 25th when I should have been wrapping up and going to bed. So yeah, it was a little ridiculous, but you can get there. It's just harder on console.
That's the best.
How about you, Andrew? Did you get any good gameplay in?
No, nothing at all.
Nope. 2 weeks, nothing.
It was all terrible. Shelter, I'm getting super discouraged. I was up to, 85, 90, somewhere in that ballpark just like 2 weeks ago. Then, had that horrible, devastating Deathclaw event, and it was back down into the 40s. Well, I got it back up into the, high 70s or something-ish. And then I just got hammered over and over with Deathclaw attacks immediately after I had sent all of my stim packs out with, the adventure teams. They would always time the Deathclaw ones when they know when you don't have any stim packs. You know what I mean? Ugh. But anyway, I think I'm down to 35 dwellers right now. It seriously was 85 a couple weeks ago. What is happening?
You're having a complete, I believe they call it a population collapse.
These poor people. Ugh.
At least you're able to scrap extra rooms, right? Can you just ignore them, scrap them? How do you handle that?
No, I've just left them so far and condensed everyone to operating in one area instead of having like people spread out all over the place. And I can't prove it mathematically because I don't have the numbers, and plus Xbox that they don't let you see behind the curtain. But I think condensing people into a tighter area on the vault instead of having them spread out all over the place operates your electricity more efficiently, because when they were all spread out, I was like having to hustle to get electricity to power everything all the time. But when I have everyone grouped all together, for some reason, there might be an efficiency coefficient in like the formula they have going on in the background, because all of the rooms are still powered, but I don't have to work as hard to power them when everyone is all together, if that makes sense.
Yes.
But so it's down to 35. We'll build it back up, and it's just so frustrating to see those ones that you spend a few weeks getting all trained up, and then you just have to watch them die to a death claw. It's just so sad to watch 2 or 3 weeks of time in manifest in a little blue vault suit bite the dust. So sad. And then you send them out. It's even worse because then they put up like a gravestone and everything.
Oh, that is so sad. Dun 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 da 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 da.
My favorite part about survival mode is that the pets do not die, however, and they will always bring back anything that was on the person, so you never actually lose any of the good weapons and suits and stuff.
Do you ever dramatize their adventures in your head, like Poirot the parrot and like Asher the dog or whatever coming back, kind of like Milo and Otis, or like
great.
What was that movie, like The Great Journey? Or
yes, there was the competitor to Milo and Otis, right?
right,
I know
there were a couple.
Michael J. Fox was a dog in one of them, I think.
Homeward Bound, or the classic Benji. God,
good old Benji.
Benji, one of the best dog movies ever made. I still sometimes when I'm walking around like down the street, I get that song in my head, the Benji Trotton song. Dun, 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 dun.
I was thinking Benji and Herbie the
Do you know
Love
it?
Bug is. No, I don't know that song. Is that a Benji song?
That's the Benji Trotting on the Sidewalk song. Yeah, I really liked that movie as a kid.
Benji Trotting on the Sidewalk song.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful.
But anyway, shelter, animals, bring back your goods. That's awesome. I'm glad that you can at least save the goods.
Yeah. So all you lose the dweller, which stinks, but at least you don't. The weapon's way more valuable anyway, to be honest. Come on. In game 76 wise, I've been hitting all the dailies. I missed my first one. And I know this season, maybe the last couple seasons, I've always been really good about hitting all the dailies. There was one that I couldn't quite get to this week just because I was busy with the gift wrapping and that sort of stuff. You know what I mean? So I missed a 3-star. What was it? Oh, kill a 3-star enemy, which I think I re-rolled anyway from, go off to Atlantic City and kill 10 trogs. No.
Storgs,
right. Trogs is the other one. Yeah. And I've been loving life ever since like a season or two ago. I realized, just use those free re-rolls every
Love
day.
that you held on to the rerolls for almost the whole season, even though I told you, yeah, they don't seem to cause any trouble. And then when that one episode, we're talking through it, I'm like, watch, you can just do this, change to this. You're like, it was like a whole new world.
I'm just going to, no, I will never do a daily op or, I might do expeditions every now and again. But daily ops can go F themselves, right?
Yeah, no, totally. Off in the Galleria or Burning Mine or wherever, they can just,
I rarely see them as a daily challenge anymore.
I do kind of enjoy them, but yeah, they do seem to be on the challenge board less too. I think whenever you see anything too much, you start to resent it, and daily ops were like that.
Yeah, they fouled. Oh, you were talking about presents. I opened up a bunch of presents. I don't know. We're talking probably in the 20-25 range. Only got one good plan that I hadn't had yet. One of the honeycomb tree things.
Mm-hmm.
I have yet to deploy it at any of the camps to check it out, but I have got one new plan. And Eric said that the plastiform stuff looks cool. So
Yeah, that's basically blow molds.
yeah,
Blow mold jolly magic. Good stuff.
They were like, there's so many plans for those. Oh, that's great. What's the fucking drop rate? Because if I open up 25 and I've already only got one, I'm like, oh Lord, this is gonna be a long haul. And they need to fucking up the rate of the Santatron stations, because you're gone for 2 hours, you come back and it's like, yay, 2 small gifts, thanks Santatron.
Andrew, this is just quick math, but it looks to me like there are now 67 possible plan drops from the presents. 27.
But at least,
I mean, sorry, 67.
no, I was about to say, but at least they don't do it, but they just don't give you one then, so it is a waste. They should just still give you a dupe anyway, instead of not giving you a plan at all.
Well, they are allowing dupes this time for some plans. It doesn't mean.
I didn't get any.
It should be possible now that you still get the immunity to learn them.
Opening a lot of, lots of coal, bad gifts.
Bad gifts. Have you seen many of them though? In plastiform, you got the candle, the gingerbread, the nutcrackers. Those nutcrackers are great, Andrew.
I have seen
the Santa.
None. In real life camp, no. But we can Google it, can't we, Otter?
I think I've seen most of them in the camps. I was just curious if you'd seen them, but you're gonna like them all. I hope you get some of the drops. The honeycomb paper stuff. The great thing about those is that they're also a light source without counting as a light. So you can get some really good colorful lights off them. And unlike when you're using the cycling colored light, no, the honeycomb paper. So the honeycomb paper are lights. The plastiform, there might be a little light, but it's not as pronounced if there is.
Okay.
So yeah, that's awesome. I'm glad you got at least a honeycomb tree.
Oh, the Santa, that's cute. Look at that.
Yeah, they're all cute. And I like this plastiform name. I hadn't heard that before. I always thought of them as blow molds as well, like you call them.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with that term, but it just might be what I don't know if blow mold is a like a Kleenex. You know what I mean? Like if blow mold is the Empire,
a specific
Empire
brand name,
Plastics.
like Xerox. Yeah.
I'm not sure. But plastiform, it's also a fucking cool word.
I like it. I'm gonna drop. Have you seen the straw goat? That's a fun one too. And I'm gonna copy Santa into the Discord chat for you and everybody to see, because I really like Santa if you haven't seen him yet. He's got a star on his sleigh and everything.
The sleigh with the reindeer and Santa, that's a very cool, famous, blow mold piece.
So are these based on real blow molds people would get?
That one is. I'm trying to blow up the and
Here,
see
I'm
the
dropping them all in Discord
picture
chat for you.
here.
If you pull it up, you're going to see a bunch.
Oh wait, I don't want to play YouTube. Don't play audio. Stop. Everything stop. No audio. Okay, I've got YouTube muted. Good. Smart. Yeah, so at least what I've seen so far, they've been
Good.
based off
Any
of
other
sort of famous.
gameplay the last 2 weeks?
You know, it's just been short spurts, lots of shelter because it's a good short spurt game. But less so on the phone. Still chugging away on the Xbox version for some reason.
It's the way to go. I know it's the inferior version without all the free stuff, but
no,
you
but
get comfy.
that makes survival 100 times harder without all of those buffs. So like it is like super survival mode. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's very tough this way. You're not coddled at all. No. All right. Yeah. That pretty much covers all of my gameplay. What else do we have on the show tonight? We've got a little game time and Solior feedback, Jess.
Yeah, would you like to hear Silior's feedback about what he's been up to in the Wasteland as of like a week or two ago?
Since we've been talking about gameplay, let's check in and see what Solior's been doing.
Continue with that. Okay.
Hello, fellow Wastelanders, Spacelanders, Trillions, what have you. Eric, aka Sulior here, and I figured I'd give you another update as to what I've been up to. So let's start with Starfield. Honestly, I haven't been playing as much Starfield. I have been playing it still, definitely. I'm over level 60. But I've mainly just been exploring planets, and that's been really cool. That's not normally how I play games. I normally need a story to keep me hooked, but I've sent, I'm in New Game Plus 2 now, and I've really just been enjoying exploring. Like, I've explored a lot of planets that you do see, but normally it's just the main hub, like Jemison with New Atlantis, Aquila, Titan, Tau Ceti 2. These are all planets that you go to, but you don't typically spend a lot of time there unless it's in the big city. So I have just been going around surveying planets, exploring, seeing all there is to see, and I've really been enjoying it. It's amazing to me how it seems like each planet has its own personality. Like with Tau Ceti 2, that's the most recent place that I've explored. And it looks like something straight out of Jurassic Park. Like it's got ankylosauruses and things that look like a combination between a dog and a brachiosaurus or something like that with the head. Lee called them dachshunds from hell, which is pretty accurate. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun just going and exploring now that I've already done all the quests at least once. So yeah, that's what I've been doing in Starfield. Still very much enjoying it. I need to get back to streaming it with my streaming character because he's got a different set of traits and everything. But I've been pretty busy, unfortunately. But I'll get there. Let's see, what else have I been doing? Still playing Redfall as a part of Charo Miami's streams. I have been taking to playing a different character named Vendor, who is a cryptid hunter, and he's the biggest freaking nerd you'll ever meet. It's actually kind of funny hearing the interaction between the characters while you're playing. Don't have Baldur's Gate yet. I should have it by the time this airs on the show. So I have been trying to finish Cyberpunk 2077 with the Phantom Liberty DLC so I can make room for when I download Baldur's Gate. We'll see by the time this airs whether or not I have, hopefully. But that's been a lot of fun. Definitely enjoying interacting with Idris Elba's character Solomon Reed, and just running around the Dogtown part of Night City. So yeah, let's get to Fallout 76. So I've been playing a lot of Fallout 76 lately, not just as a part of the scoreboard grinding, but also just hanging out with people in the game. Been doing that a lot lately. I gave my thoughts on the expeditions on Tapes from the Waste, so I'm not really going to do that here, other than the fact that the most spectacular game, the one that I jokingly call The Greatest Showman, I think I like that one a little bit more, specifically because I mean that's the one with the boardwalk, but it also has an aquarium, and I really love running around in that aquarium. It's so cool looking. But other than doing the expeditions and the scoreboard grind, I was on Kaiju Kitten's stream recently. She helped me drop my first nuke on Xbox. Actually, first two nukes on Xbox. And yeah, my character is now just now like level 440. And I had never dropped a nuke before. I'd started one multiple times, but I never actually got around to finishing it. So that was great. And then this past Saturday, as I'm recording this, I was on Ms. Max's stream and she helped me drop my first nuke on PC. And that was great as well. And then for charity, we sang a round of Take Me Home Country Roads. Wasn't timed the best, and apparently we were really quiet, but you know what? It's fine. It was great. So yeah, my character is now level 101, I think, on PC. And it wasn't until recently that they got past level 20. So yeah, been hanging out with friends on PC a lot more. And I am working on the Wastelanders story so I can have access to the gold bullion vendor in Vault 79. So I can finally get a full set of Secret Service armor and hopefully a jetpack, because I really miss having a jetpack. Oh, one last thing. Myself and a bunch of the Modus Files crew got together and did an Earl event together. That was a lot of fun. Yeah, a bunch of us have hung out together here and there. I hang out with Chris Smith and Chrissy Williams quite a bit. We've done some XP farming recently that apparently that got patched out. Boo. But yeah, we all got together and took on Earl together. And then we hung out a little bit afterward, did a moonshine jamboree and did some camp touring. So always great hanging out with the Modus Files crew. So anyway, that is what I've been up to lately. So I will see you all in the wasteland.
Eric, before you go, bud, wait a second. Oh, back there on the floor, all those names you dropped during the show.
We'll clean them up. It's funny. He mentioned doing the Earl run, and I did mention that in my gameplay like 2 weeks ago. But yeah, so what he's talking about is we had to get some authentic Earl audio for one of the Modus Files we're working on, because there's an episode coming up just named Earl. And we wanted to get get a real Earl fight going. But in order to get the audio the way we wanted it to be like an actual kind of like OG style Earl fight, so none of these no heavy plasma casters and modded weapons and stuff can take them down real fast. So it was all rifles and guns. We did rifles and I had a shotgun because, well, that's what I use. So we went in there and yeah, we fought Earl. It was a good, almost 18 to 20 minute fight probably. But we did take him out even without any special perks or high level weapons. And it was really fun to do an old school Earl. And then when we jumped through and and went out into the radiation, we escaped that. We just kept playing together for a bit. So it was a really nice night out with a lot of the Modus Files crew, doing Moonshine Jamboree, a few other events. But the Earl thing was the thing. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's one of those things I used to do constantly that I haven't done in forever. Just like he was talking about dropping nukes. Used to do that fairly frequently. Haven't dropped a nuke in forever, but literal years has passed since the last time I dropped a nuke.
Right? I've
Right?
assisted, but the truth is most people would prefer to drop a nuke solo because you're going to spawn less enemies. And then the robots were in overdrive and the turrets were in overdrive for the last 6 to 8 months after, the energy weapon boost they did and the changes they made. What was that, June, I think? So
I feel
yeah,
like they
that's put
still
back
are.
finally. No, they're much better. They're much better the last couple weeks after the last update.
I walked up to a robot the other day and he just said no and I died. I was like,
Oh, yeah, that happens. I had that in Watoga. My PC character was in Watoga, and they do not. Did you know that your mayorship is not transferable between systems? You could be mayor on Xbox, and they like we do not recognize you as our mayor. And rude, right?
How rude. Come on.
How rude! I couldn't believe it, but yeah, they'll take you right down. But since that feedback, I'll mention for him is that so he did that nuke on Xbox people, but then he went and dropped his first nuke on PC too. So he's dropped nukes on one more system than I have.
Boom.
He's probably mayor too.
You never dropped a
Damn
nuke on PC? Get over there, Jess.
I don't think I have my PC character. My PC character is only like level 70, 80 maybe. Not that high.
Yeah.
If I look at my total playtime over there, I mean it's up there now, because a lot of it was before Steam, and my Steam time's in a couple hundred hours. But guess what I'm doing? Not dropping nukes. That's
Not
what I'm doing
dropping
over there.
nukes. She'd rather build or frame up a pretty picture in photo mode.
Exactly what I'm doing. Yeah, a whole lot of photo mode over there because there's you get the best textures over there. Plus, I got my modded textures in there. When I did that high quality texture pack array I was talking about, what was it, like a little over a year ago? Yeah, about a year ago. That high quality texture pack that kind of split the difference. It wasn't full 4K, but it was a 2K texture pack. It's just gorgeous. It looks so nice.
Yeah, it can make a huge difference.
It really can. I'm looking forward to that in Starfield too. I'm still not playing Starfield on PC much. I like it works. It looks so nice with DLSS, but you guys know I was doing the new system here that I, kind of got set up almost 3 weeks ago now, but I haven't finished the transfer because too much to do. And I didn't want to reset my OBS and all my recording stuff and all the videos I was working on onto a new system at the same time. So I'm trying to get past that, get past the holidays, and then get the new PC set up. And man, I don't know if there are any texture packs for Starfield yet. I don't think there are because those take time. But yeah, when the Creation Club kit drops, which, sounds like it's going to be sooner than later.
Yeah.
That's going to be awesome.
So, what does that even mean?
Well, we can get into that in Iguana Bits a bit. But as far as, the Creation Kit, that's essentially the official mod tools for Starfield. So the official mod tools that allow you to interact with more things in the game. And also the full mod support, which at the same time we'll probably be getting, like Ray's talking about, get the creations implemented. I imagine they'll implement that system and the creation kit at the same time, or at least near each other.
Yeah, I can't imagine them doing them too far apart. I mean, I would expect they would do the creation kit first, if anything, just so that they've got some creations in there.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Well, I mean, some people do have access to the creation kit already. Arthmore, for instance, is funny. If you go over to the official mod chat, and people have been signing up to be official too. Because, there's a new thing. There's what they're calling the verified creators is the level where you're going to be able to publish creations, like allow your new mods you make to become creations, become a verified modder. And so, yeah, they're over there talking about it. And, I saw someone the other day mention, well, maybe Arthmore can get us access to the CK since he has it already.
I don't get it.
We're talking some of the bigger modders. People who do things.
I don't understand.
Working on the unofficial patch and stuff like that.
I've heard that word before.
Indeed. But yeah, awesome. Well, thank you so much for the feedback, Celia. Any other comments on that, you guys?
It's easy to forget how interesting and diverse the different planets are. I've had a few characters where they never land on a planet ever. Everything is done in space, or in a city, and so with these hardcore characters, you're doing a lot of landing on planets, and there's some super cool stuff out there.
There really is. It's amazing how much you can find. Even without a specific point of interest, just exploring and surveying planets has been really fun. It's a trap, though. It's a trap. Randy's talking about, he spent so much time surveying planets. He actually burned out a little bit and took a little bit of a break from the game. Myself, like, that's the biggest thing that keeps me from progressing, besides, doing a lot of side quests, is the fact that you land on a planet for a side quest and you're like, oh, there's 7 fauna here and 4 plants. Oh, I got a few of them here. Well, let's look for the rest and finish the survey. And then while you're finishing the survey, you're like, oh, this cliff is really pretty. Let's take a picture. And you're there for 20 minutes, getting it just right.
Yeah. Yeah. I definitely recommend not doing that. Just ignoring all those, look at the animals, take a picture of them. Great. But having to find 8 of them.
It can be a time sink, and obviously as you level up your skills, it's easier, which is why you're obviously with New Game Plus. If you're bringing your skills forward, once you get points into your animal husbandry or your horticulture skills, and it takes less scans to do it, or you get points in your scanner, you can scan further. It's much quicker. So yeah, surveying early on is twice the slog than it is later.
Yeah, well, and my last 2 characters haven't even progress the constellation story enough to where I can go sell that stuff at the eye.
Right.
And so it's, pretty much useless for me.
Yep. Yeah.
So I don't even bother. I'll scan, the asteroid moons and the gas giants, or ice giants.
Gas giants are easy.
But nothing else. Yeah. Cause those you're going to do those for the XP anyway.
They're like an open book. They tell you their secrets right away.
Yeah. But beyond that, no, I'll land on a planet 20 or 30 times without doing a single scan.
I can't even imagine. Like, the scanner is out as quick as the camera. Yeah, snap a pic or snap a scan. Randy says, funny you mentioned that. I'm on Serpentis right now. He's on Serpentis 4 scanning as we speak. Yeah, I don't know. It's such a big part of the game for me, but it's frustrating early on. Like, I think I've told the story before, but there was early on, like maybe like my 3rd or 4th planet, I was trying to do a complete survey on for a terrestrial living planet. And I just couldn't find the last couple creatures. And so the pug and I, mostly me, that the pug didn't really care, except that I was getting a little upset and yelling. So I was not yelling, but I'm just standing up off the couch. I'm like, where are my toad-faced grazers at? And I'm scanning everything. I'm like, where are my toad-faced grazers at? And eventually we found them, but it took a while. They hide. A lot of those creatures hide. I'm sorry, toad-faced grazers just cracks me up. It's the best name.
Yeah, there are some great names.
The tough ones are in the oceans, yes. The sneaky ones in the water. And sometimes, so you have to find the coastal biome to get all of them. But sometimes you get 2 or even 3 creatures in the ocean. And that just boggles your mind, because you never think to look there. You're like, oh, I'm 100% surveyed, but you're not. You're not.
Yeah, I think one of the Serpentis planets, I might have talked to Randy about it. You couldn't see them from the shore, so the water wasn't toxic. So you could you could swim out in the water, or I just flew out in my jetpack. But they were 200 to 300 meters off the shore. And so I had run up and down the shoreline, because usually you can scan them from the shoreline, but nope, these were way the heck out there.
Wow. That's like the ones in the sky and the shore. At least it lets you scan further. But if you can't see them, you can't scan them. You don't even know they're there. So yeah, it's rough. Anyway, but fun. I mean, kind of fun when you have more levels in it. It's one of those weird things where it's so satisfying when you get it done. Like, and then a lot of times in there, I'm like, I spent 2 or 3 hours doing that when there was no need of it. Like but you get a feeling of accomplishment. One more planet down, maybe a good place to build an outpost, take a few pictures. Clint says it's a pastime for some of us retired folk. Exactly. Why not? You know what I mean? Take a nature hike on a planet in Starfield. Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. It just doesn't work in very hard. When you're level 10 and the predators are all level 70 or 80.
Oh, yeah. Don't do it in very hard.
And you haven't spec'd into scanners at all. So you have to get 10 meters away. It's a death sentence.
Yeah, don't do that. Jess, you were talking about taking pictures as you are to do.
Yes, a little too much, but yes.
And I was wondering, what's your time split between, and I assume I know the answer, which is more. But what's your time split, do you think, between lining up pretty shots in space with like celestial things like planets and asteroids and cool stuff in space versus like down on planet surface?
So in Starfield specifically, or you mean between Starfield and 76?
No, just Starfield specifically. Where do you spend most of your time in photo mode? Are you up in space or down on the planet surface?
Probably more on planet surface. Yeah, if you were thinking that was the answer, then yes, probably.
Yeah, I was assuming that was it.
Because you can get shots of, you can get great horizon shots, sunrise, sunset, stuff with your character, stuff with animals, natural formations. Even you can get some great shots when you're still in your ship after landing, before getting out, and get a little wider view. That's also, if you guys haven't tried this, pop into photo mode when you're in your ship and you first land on a location, and that's when you might be able to get the camera under the surface too. If you want to go into the upside down in Starfield. Your character can't really get there easily yet, but you can actually get your photo mode camera down there. And sometimes it's really cool. Like, okay, breaking the game stuff, but when you get the planet rise and planet set, that planet goes somewhere. So you'd be like, oh, it's disappearing over the horizon. But if you break through the surface, the rest of the planet is down under, like just slipping into the inky black below the surface of the upside down. It's really cool.
You mentioned the upside down. Just earlier today, I was trying to make my blueprint work that I used to go underground in 76. Did they patch something?
It depends on how you're trying to do it, but no, it mostly works still.
Oh, it does. Okay.
There were a couple weeks near the end of summer where it felt a little thicker, like you had to go a little bit deeper under to stay there. And photo mode is giving us more trouble underground too. If you're near the surface and you open photo mode, it tries to push the camera up through. If you build a staircase, then you go down a little ways, no problem. But it's trying to like push the camera back up above now, like it didn't used to. And same with your character. So if you're just using the base on top of the staircase or a pipe stove on top of the staircase, it has to be a little bit deeper than it used to.
All right, I got an idea for a video. Everyone put on your skeleton costumes and get near the surface of the
just rising from the earth, skeletons coming from the ground.
Yeah, exactly. Get pushed up through the ground.
That would be awesome. Or a ghoul mask.
Oh, yeah, perfect. So yeah, I think that was our feedback for this week. I did prepare a quick game. So, I think you guys know the answer to this, but what time is it?
What time is it? Game time! Woo!
This week on Game Time, it's a Christmas sale, everyone. It's everyone's favorite Christmas sale in Fallout. We're all collecting in Fallout 4. We're all going over there to the Commonwealth, everybody. And we're going to Diamond City to the market in Diamond City Market for the Christmas sale. What we're going to do for this week's game time, we are going to go around all the shops at the Diamond City Market.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It's a scream at your phone list style game where we'll just bounce back and forth between, but you get a chance at a double dip or a double shot or a power jam or whatever you want to a big bonus here. I want you to tell me the name of a shop, and then the bonus point is tell me the owner, the person who runs the shop. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. That should be super simple since I was there last night or this morning.
You were there in Diamond City this morning?
I was getting the Christmas lights. That, like I mentioned, that's why I was kind of falling asleep trying to make it happen. But yeah, I recorded the Christmas lights there this morning.
Oh, right, this morning.
But I'm also, super sleepy. So that's working against me. We'll see.
All right. So there are 8 vendors. I'm not talking about all the different shops around town, just the ones there around the marketplace. So we'll bounce back and forth here between the two of you. And remember, if you answer the shop first, then you get a chance to tell me the name of the vendor as well. So Ray, why don't you go ahead and go first? Do you have a favorite of the Diamond City vendors there?
Well, it's always fun to talk to Solomon.
It is.
The
Solomon's
drug dealer at Kim I Care.
Kim I Care and Solomon, right? Good job, sir. All right. Jess, over to you.
Good choice with Kim I Care. That was the first one I was thinking of too. So I'm trying to remember the actual name of the stores. Oh, I'll go for the easiest one because just to warm up. So the shop is Power Noodles.
It's a very good one to warm up with. A warm bowl of Power Noodles. And who was our host?
That would be Takahashi.
Takahashi. Very good.
Nane shimasho ka?
Nane shimasho ka? Ray, back to you, sir.
All right.
I'm sure
I'm going to go with
mispronounced that too.
Diamond City Surplus.
The DC Surplus. Absolutely, Ray. And who is our gracious host at the Diamond City Surplus?
Depends on when you go. If you go during the daytime, it's Crazy Myrna.
Crazy Myrna is the answer I'm looking for. Who
You
else
better
do
not
we
be a
got
synth.
for a bonus point, Ray? I'll give you yet another imaginary bonus super point.
Well, if you go at night, you can meet up with Percy.
Myrna. I've got Myrna.
The robot.
Oh, right. Jess, back to you.
Next one. The Super Salon.
Super Salon. And who are our the purveyors of the Super Salon there?
So I should know this, and it's extreme right now. I want to say Travis Jr. lookalike, but it's not. I think
it's Travis's bastard son.
Yeah, is his name like David? Okay, I'll go with David.
Ray, would you like a steal?
No, I've never been in there. I mean, you hear the woman, complain all the time.
Yeah, his mom talking to him, but
about Mayor McDonough's secretary.
She's paranoid about scents and stuff.
Have you heard that
right?
about Geneva? She swears Geneva's a synth. She's too perfect.
Yeah.
But I have no idea what the guy's name is.
The Super Salon is owned by John and Kathy. And Kathy.
I might have guessed his mother's name was Kathy, but yeah, I knew it was a normal name. But, there are a lot of those. So, okay. Your turn, Ray.
Ray, back to you, sir. Do you have any more shops around the Christmas sale you'd like to visit?
Oh, I mean, everybody needs a new sweater.
Sweater. And who's going to sell us a new sweater?
Is that the name of the shop? Swatter?
Swatters.
Cool.
It's plural.
And that would be our good buddy and baseball aficionado, Mo Cronin.
Mo Cronin.
Yeah, the great grandson of one of my characters.
Yeah. Love that. We're back to you, Jess. Let's see how many we got. How many we got? 1, 2, 3. Looks like there's 3 more.
Okay, have we? So yeah, we've guessed 5 so far. Okay, great. We're gonna go to Commonwealth Weaponry.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the name of it, right?
Yeah. I had to double check that because I was like, "There's no way it's called that. That doesn't sound right." And I checked it, and I was like, "Okay, that's what it's called." And I was like,
Yep.
That's what he calls out.
That can't be what
Yep.
it's called. That
And it's
doesn't
kind of
sound
on the
right.
sign above, but like, yeah, you don't usually see that or think about that. You just like it's our buddy Arturo there between Mo and Percy.
You got the bonus point, Arturo. Oh, for a triple secret super duper double point. The last name of Arturo.
Oh, Arturo Rojas. Don't know.
Ray for a triple super double triple secret super.
I don't know, and I'm not going to guess a generic Hispanic last name.
It'd be racist. Come on.
I thought it actually might be Rojas.
No, it's not too far off that. Rodriguez, Arturo Rodriguez. Okay. All right, so I think I've got 2 more on my list, and Ray, that's back to you.
So, gosh, what is the name of it?
We see who's
the surgery center.
Yep.
Can I get the full name?
The surgery center. Surgery center.
Jess, would
feel
you
like
like a steal?
Might be
Sons Surgery Center.
Jess,
I don't know.
You want to help?
I
with
think
the steal?
I think it's the Mega Surgery Center.
It is the Mega Surgery Center. Jess with the assist.
Nice.
Ray, do you know who runs the surgery center?
Is his name Dr. Sun?
Dr. Sun, and how about the other guy who does the
guy that does the
face
the
alterations?
face shops.
Yeah, Basement Boy.
That weirdo down there.
Gosh, I've killed him so many times, but I can't remember his name.
Jess for the super duper secret super assist steal double point.
I don't remember, so let's just say Doc Walters.
Oh, so sorry. That would be Doc Crocker. Crocker for all of you keeping score at home. 1, 2.
There's one store left, I think.
Just one store left. Who's our last stop on the shopping spree around the DC market vendors? Who do we got?
That would be Fallon's.
Oh, you nailed it. Good job. And do you know who was running the shop down there when we stopped down there to say hi?
I haven't visited Miss Prissy Pants in a while. I don't know if I even talked to her this last playthrough. She's a bit judgy. Yeah, I don't remember her name, so I feel like she kind of looks like an Evelyn. We'll go with Evelyn. Maybe Margie. I don't know.
Margie. Let's combine them both together. Ray, the super secret assist double steal point.
Mrs. Fallon.
Sister
Perfect.
Fallon, Mama Fallon, someone Fallon.
She's way too proper for me to even utter her first name. that I don't know.
Hilariously, Lee just put in chat Margie Lynn and actually said, "Oh, was it Margie Lynn?" Just combine the two things I said.
Margie Lynn.
Uh,
That sounds just about appropriate. We're looking for Becky Fallon. Becky Fallon.
Beck,
for all
of course, it's. She's such a Becky. Yeah, like totally.
For those of you keeping score at home. And that was this week's edition of Game Time. Thanks, everyone, for playing along.
so the lady chopping meat is not in the market?
She's a little bit further away. She's like a row.
She's behind.
Aside.
She's like in front of the
She's over by the church, the interfaith church area. I mean, because she's kind of on there because there's a gap. But yeah, I think she and a couple others are. It's
Okay.
You run the bases in between them.
That's okay. I don't know what the name of the shop is, and I don't know what her name is either. But I just remember there's somebody standing there
remember
chopping
either, which
like
is-
a meat.
Why I'm like Commonwealth Meats, like something I don't remember the name of that store either.
Are you wanting to expand it to every vendor in goddamn Diamond City now? Is that what the challenge is?
We good. That was actually a really fun
you guys
challenge.
Could probably do that too.
I'm glad we knew all the stores and most of the names.
Yeah. Expanding it to the whole location doesn't add too many more, right? All right. So what else is on our agenda tonight? We've got looks like we've got a good deal of iguana bits to get into this week. So why don't we go ahead and get those queued up?
Jessica, to the office, please. Jessica, to the office. Your iguana bits are ready. Please come pick them up. Okay, wow, a fresh helping of iguana bits. Thank you, me. I'm excited to take a look at these. So let's see. First up, we got the calendar. We got to start where we usually do. It is double XP weekend right now, y'all. So if you still care about XP and 76, get in there and get that. It helps with score. So if you're trying to get through that scoreboard, double XP is a big score helper. It's not just about level. Looking ahead to the rest of the year, we've got nothing special next week. It's a script surplus and luxury vendor, caps aplenty, all that. The next big event will be end of January, the Burning Love Challenge event. So after this, and we finish up the holiday scores January 2nd. So yeah, if you're keeping track, double XP and double score will be over on Christmas Day. That would be Monday. Then you've got a whole nother week of holiday scorched, Santa scorched, Jingle scorched until January 2nd. So we got those 2 weeks. And then January is kind of a chill month. No fancy special events coming until the end of the month as we get into February. Beyond that, so we got some really great info over the last 2 weeks, which I haven't been able to talk about with no show. Although, to be fair, we've talked about it a ton in chat on Discord and elsewhere. So Fallout 76, we got something of a roadmap, which is exciting because one of the rallying cries of this past year was, where's the roadmap? A lot of people demanding the roadmap, because we normally get them. I think I even went over it end of last January for y'all, when they usually release, which tends to be between early Feb or March. But we have gotten as late as May after Wastelanders because they were waiting for Wastelanders to come out to give us some roadmap for the rest of the year. But this past year, no official roadmap, just community calendars, which as the game has evolved, have kind of stood in for roadmaps because they deal with the current season, maybe a little bit of the next one after. And that's it. We kind of learn the big picture as time goes on. So when I say roadmap, I don't mean we actually have a regular roadmap, a big graphic image with you're going to get this in spring and this in summer and this in winter.
Oh, they still haven't given that yet.
No. And I mean, for next year, maybe we will get one after not getting one this year. We'll see. But the way it started was a comment on Reddit that started kind of outlining some of the plans. Like someone from Bethesda made an official post. They were talking about some of what was upcoming and planned for 76. And people are like, whoa, this is great information. This is wonderful. We've kind of wanted to know this stuff. And to get more into detail, then they actually did an official blog post afterwards. So there was an open letter to 76 players from John Rush. If you guys don't know John, he is the art director lead art director for 76, and responsible for, if not creating, all the items in the Atomic Shop and here and there, like as the art director, he oversees them and, approves a lot of them and stuff and says, yeah, this fits, this doesn't. And, obviously does a lot of the art for the game. So he did an open letter to the Vault Dwellers of Appalachia. And I'll give you some highlights, but also I'll just read from some of the most interesting paragraphs. Okay. So starts out, he says, looking ahead to an exciting year in Appalachia, we, feel a warm glow about our community. We just celebrated our 5th anniversary. We've come a long way. He mentions the milestone. Together, 17 million players have experienced new Fallout tales and characters with Wastelanders. So that's neat because last summer, I think the most recent number we were given was 13 point some million. So it shows at least another 4 million have tried it in the last 6 months to 9 months, whenever that time period was. So I've talked about new Wastelanders coming in. We've been a little bit of a resurgence again. With people trying 76. It ebbs and flows. It slowed down last spring and picking up again now. It seems to pick up every fall, which is interesting. Sometimes because of new content like expeditions or Nuka World on tour, and sometimes just the ebb and flow of the game. People who maybe even were thinking Starfield, and they're like, yeah, okay, that's cool, but single player, I'm done. Let's try 76 now, finally. So that was neat. They talk about, Atlantic City and what they're doing there. Again, about the second update. So he mentions many of us are exploring Atlantic City as we speak. Perfect time to look forward to next year. So beyond the 17 million players now, arriving in spring 2024, the second installment, America's Atlantic City, America's Playground, features an additional mission in which players will confront the legendary Jersey Devil. So you can meet lesser devils during tax evasion. I don't know if everybody has, but you can.
Nice.
And you're going to get the real Jersey Devil. So it'll be a third mission, which still okay. That's just an expedition mission, but along with new story-driven quests, more areas to explore, and plenty of rewards. So this is going to be the one that adds more NPCs, gives it a little bit more of a storyline to the Atlantic City area, and we'll have some open world exploration with quests. So we knew that, but he got more specific. Now here is the part we didn't know, that not only does it give us a bit of a roadmap for next year, but it also explains this year a bit. He goes on to say, war never changes, but that sure doesn't stop Appalachian from mutating. Later in 2024, we're expanding our map southward, deep into the wooded heartland of Shenandoah. This uncharted, once tranquil expanse in the heart of Virginia will bring a new quest line, factions, and rewards. You guys, we're getting a new real area. This isn't an expedition. This is, our map is getting bigger. I don't think it's even going to be fast travel. We don't know yet specifically. There will probably be a second physical map because they're not going to squeeze and shrink the map we already have. But you're going to be able to go south of where we are now into Shenandoah Valley. And they shared a really interesting graphic with that shows a number of things. For instance, the Vault 63 door. If people don't know, Vault 63 is the vault in a cave at the very south end of the ash heap. And they're showing that door blown off at the edge of the ash heap. There's a Shenandoah National Park sign, all busted down. You've got a radio center. You've got a number of landmarks. And then in the center, you've got this huge red kind of swirling lightning storm coming up from a facility. So could be a really neat story there. Did you see this image, Ray?
Yeah, I've seen the image. So I wonder if it'll be like Solstein, where it gets its own little map, and
yep,
you get there by Blue Ridge Caravan one time, and then you can travel there, back and forth.
That makes good sense. When they say expand the map, I mean, either you're just going to be able to keep walking south from the ash heap into the new area, which would be cool, or it will be like you're saying, like essentially it is a fast travel across, but it's going to be a real map where you can put down camps. You can actually build and do stuff, like it not an expedition. It's just an instance and temporary. So other people will be able to be there. There'll be more to it. And they mentioned factions and all that. So yeah, really excited. And the reason I say that explains this here a bit too, is if a large portion of the team, while Double 11 was working on their seasonal content and other things, and, they're kind of trading off the Austin team and Double 11 for some of these, because I Race escaped me right now, but one of the seasons was definitely done mostly by Austin, not Double 11. But if they're trading that stuff off, then a significant portion of the group is probably working on this expansion. They didn't know when it would be done necessarily, so they didn't put it on a roadmap, and they didn't want to say, a year and a half ahead of release, like, don't worry, guys, we're working on a whole new area, because you know how people would every single tweet post be like, so when's the new area coming?
Mhm.
So when's the new area coming? So yeah. Then to keep on going, as far as what the overall plan for the game is, throughout the coming year, team is shining a greater light on Fallout 76's beloved seasonal events. Acknowledging, Fashnacht and those sort of things that we enjoy. But you also don't want to overplay them. So this does concern me a little, but he says, we're looking forward to running them more frequently and offering a host of new rewards at each event. Okay, now you have my attention. I'll do extra Fashnacht for new rewards. Sure. And not just Fashnacht, but of course, Aliens, Mothman Equinox, all that sort of thing. There's also plans for new seasonal events to round out our roster. So get ready to pencil in those calendars in 2024. So this makes me think of what it looked like they were doing 2 years ago when they started making every 2 months, we're going to have a seasonal event. They didn't quite stick to it. It became more like every 3 months. You get Aliens, Mothman Equinox, or Fashnacht, or Jingle Scorched, Spooky Scorched.
Treasure Hunter.
Yeah, that doesn't count. Treasure Hunters does not count, and Jingle Scorched, Spooky Scorched doesn't really count either. It's the big server-wide events that count. Meat Week, that's the other one I was missing. So Meat Week, Fashnacht, Aliens, Mothman Equinox, those are the big seasonal events. Of course, Mischief Night, RIP. But if they can add like 1 or 2 more in, and you can get them every 2 months with new rewards, that will be exciting. I think they've realized that would keep people happy beyond seasons. So excited about all that. And then just to kind of wrap this section up, he just mentions, beyond the exciting new content, we're doing features and improvements to benefit builders and adventurers. So, whether you're a new player or long-term player, it's going to be an exciting time. You're going to get some new stuff and quality of life as well. And we can't forget the premiere of the highly anticipated Fallout TV series coming to Amazon Prime. So he mentions this represents a collaboration between Bethesda and Kilter Films, going to show the Fallout universe like never before, and helps bring the world to life. So he's kind of talking about some synergy there between the two without giving us any specifics. But that was from John Rush. And yeah, just really great to kind of get an idea of what we're looking forward to next year. So to sum it up, Expedition, new seasonal events, map expanding south, awesome stuff.
And they can't
also, yeah,
they can't just tack more onto the map and include it in somehow.
No, that's what they're doing basically. Yeah, Ray and I are just talking about how they might be doing it, but yeah, they are tacking more onto the map. They're expanding the map south. So whether it'll be completely seamless, like you just keep walking over the hill where there was once a fence and now you can't, or you get to the edge and you hop in a cart and fast travel to the other area, which is technically the south, but there's like a little gap in between. It's going to be one or the other.
I didn't know everyone was talking about with new locations around the vault. I trotted along there just yesterday. I'm like, I don't recognize the place anymore around the vault. It's crazy.
Right? It's so different. That's why when we were going around during our expedition, I wanted to show you some of those. And we didn't even hit all of them. There are some things that I didn't take y'all to. Like there's a cave and a door. There's a door with a cave. And that's not the deep, but over on the side of the mountains. There are some odd little locations people have found, strange lights, a deep hole that doesn't seem to go anywhere. So yeah. Anyway,
Ooh,
there are things.
That's interesting.
I know. There are things coming.
No, that's like those scary deep holes that you drop things in and they never hit bottom. They just fall forever.
So the next thing on the agenda, Fallout 4 next gen confirmation. So
finally, nice.
We'd been speculating, what are they doing with it? When's it coming? When's it's not? At this point, this is old news because it happened almost 2 full weeks ago, week and a half. But they did confirm that they are still working on Fallout 4 next gen. That'll be in 2024. So what they say is, thank you for your patience with us as we work on Fallout 4 next gen update. We know you're excited, and so are we. We need a bit more time and look forward to an exciting return to the Commonwealth in 2024. So no date. The assumption is they're trying to align with the TV show, which, as we know, is 12th of April. So around that time, probably, maybe a little before, a little after. I still think smart money is on doing it before, so you can work out the inevitable features that come with a new update. Yeah. But I mean, who knows? Who knows? Maybe they couple months in.
Bold prediction. This is just a smoke screen, and it's a secret Fallout 5 drop with the TV show. Fallout 5. What do you think?
In our dreams.
Yeah.
Wait, we don't want Fallout 5?
Why is that?
We'd have to end the show.
No, we don't have to stop. We just have to keep going until that milestone hits.
I know we said we're going to go to at least Fallout 5.
Yeah,
so.
it's not like the show ends once Fallout 5 starts, because that was just a goal to get to. You know what I mean?
That's actually what it just begins.
It's not a grave. It's a mile marker, not a grave. Come on.
Y'all don't know the first 12 years preamble. That's when the show begins. But yeah, anywho, that's awesome. I also, while we're talking about things coming out or not coming out, I don't have any official news or anything, but you might notice Fallout London hasn't released this year yet. We were talking about it in the Discord a couple weeks ago, and like I mentioned at the time, if there is any kind of delay happening, I wouldn't necessarily worry about it, because I know they're hard at work. So hopefully we hear something official soon. But yeah, it doesn't look like that's probably going to make this year unless we get a Christmas drop, which what a present that would be, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, and I'm a lot more excited for that than I am the next gen.
It looks so good
because I already run 4K textures.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not going to do anything to make it look better.
Yeah, we don't know what else they'll add with it, but you're absolutely right. We'll probably get the new creations integration on that too when that comes out.
Exactly.
So Skyrim first, break and raise stuff. Starfield next, break and raise stuff. Then maybe Fallout 4 next gen, break and raise stuff.
They love doing that.
I'm sorry, Ray. We'll see. We'll see. Oh, there's Otter. Otter. Is he looking especially handsome today, or is it just me?
He's looking perfect.
What a great Christmas kitty. I love it. So I do have one more hefty chunk of iguana bits that isn't necessarily appropriate for the show. I mean, of course it is. Of course it is. This is the Fallout feed, because where we talk about Starfield.
and I thought you meant it was going to be lewd, not that it was.
Oh no, it's not. That's not always when things are inappropriate. Just more often than we intend. Well, I intend. So we got a bit of a Starfield schedule and roadmap too. So I'm just going to go over the highlights here. There is a full article on Bethesda.net with a great infographic. So, we love the infographics about what has the community been up to, what have people been doing. So here's the highlights from the roadmap announcement. They want to say thank you from the whole team for all the time we spent in Starfield. And their plan is to be updating roughly every 6 weeks, starting with the next major update in February. So we know the next major update they're doing will be February. They do consider the one in October a major update, early November, late October, early November, I guess, where they added the DLSS and a number of other things. They consider that a major update, but they obviously don't consider removing the asteroid pal and a few things like that major updates. But next major update will be February, and they plan on updating roughly every 6 weeks. Here's some of what they have planned throughout the year, on top of regular bug fixes and quality of life improvements. They do still plan to add city maps. So that means all your major settlements and locations will have an actual pop-up map, a real map like on your Pip-Boy, or even better, like in 76, that you can actually just open, see a map. They're going to be doing one, we know, for the big cities like Aquila, Sidonia, New Atlantis, Neon. But I've also seen people talking about doing around Paradiso, New Homestead, maybe even Hopetown. Hopetown, I don't think really needs a map, but stuff like that. So yeah, they'll be doing city maps. They say the ever so vague new ways to travel. So we don't know if this means ground vehicles, a more efficient jetpack, rollerblades. I think we did talk about this a couple weeks ago that it might be happening because of other things they had said. And I still think they might also add a way to travel between planets without necessarily using your ship or having as many loading screens and such. Because we all know you can fast travel one point to another without having to get a ship to all that, but not everybody does. And they feel like the world is disconnected, which in some ways it is nature of space travel. So maybe if there's a way to travel from like one city to the other, like you can travel directly from New Atlantis to Aquila City or directly from Aquila City to Neon, like who knows? But that would be neat. So new ways to travel could mean all kinds of things. But hopefully, we get dune buggies and the Mako.
Did you say rollerblades?
I was spitballing. Yeah, I said rollerblades. I mean, or maybe like those cool ass sneakers where the like wheels pop out, the wheelies, right? Like the wheelies.
Can you imagine rollerblades and jetpack?
Now you're talking. You have just created a new sport.
Sorts of dangerous.
Oh my gosh, that would be amazing. Like with hockey sticks, like yeah. Canadians with rollerblades, hockey sticks, and jetpacks.
Rocket ball.
You'd have to have really big wheels though to make it over the rocks.
Some of those rocks are pretty large.
Really
yeah.
Big as something else too.
Yeah, like Clint mentions, he travels direct to any place you've been, and that's just it. I honestly feel like in Starfield, this is I guess me go on a bit here, but to get to any given location, it's no harder than doing it in Skyrim or Fallout either. The first time, you have to find it. You're walking down the road, you're traveling quite a ways, you find the location, now it's on your map. Then in the future, once you've found it, you can open the map and fast travel to that location. Well, in Starfield, you go into space and yeah, you travel to a system first, but then you land at a location. So what have you done? You've gotten your ship, you've gone into orbit, you've traveled to another system, and you've landed at a point of interest that caught your eye. Now you can travel right to that point of interest. So maybe there's another loading screen or two in there the very first time. But to me, the exploration, I've talked about it before, is point of interest exploration. The actual open world, the province of Skyrim, or the land of the Commonwealth is that map. Now, the maps should be better. I'm not a fan of the map system in a lot of ways. With 3D Galaxy, you can't even zoom all the way out on. And the way has 4 different layers and you have to long press B to get out and always starts on the one you want to be on. I don't love that map, but that kind of serves the same purpose as like the in-between zones. Do you know what I mean? Does that make sense, Ray?
Yeah, there's always a hard way and an easy way to do anything in a game. And because there's so much repetition in some of the travel, you lose track of the easy way to do things. So really, depending on your ship, if your ship has enough jump fuel and enough light years on your grav drive, I can travel. If I'm at my base on, one of the Serpentis moons, and I want to go to my base on the Bessel moon, I can just
do it.
Fast travel there.
Yeah,
and never get in my ship, never get out of my ship. You're on the ground in one base, you fast travel, on the ground in the other base.
The only cumbersome bit is, open the map, press start, go to the map, open the map, B to exit the system of the galaxy map, move the cursor over to the Bessel or whatever the system is, zoom into it, zoom into the planet, select the location. So there is a couple button presses and zooms, but it's not that bad. Then once you press it, you're instantly there. Yeah. Base in Serpentis, base in Bessel.
So if they want to give us a drop-down menu, so we can menu fast travel, that'd be great.
Yeah,
that's all. That's all you need.
That is exactly what we need, a drop-down menu, and maybe like a more 2D option, so you can zoom all the way out and see more of them at once, not having to get all confused. But yeah, I would love that. Like an outpost list. Travel to any of your outposts from this list.
Yeah, just like you can do in Fallout 4. And you've got
Beautiful.
5.
Travel to your main cities. Beautiful. That would be cool. So, new ways to travel. Also highlighted, new ways to customize your ships. Hell yeah. New gameplay options to further adjust difficulty. Now, this is cool. Reading into this, if I actually pull up the article on this bullet point, they get really into it. Okay. So, with all these new settings, you'll be able to alter your gameplay to allow for an easier or more challenging experience that expands beyond the normal difficulty setting. So, it's not just easy to hard, not just survival. These are settings to customize carry capacity, cargo access distance, ship damage, vendor credits, how you suffer afflictions, new survival mechanics, and more. So it's a customizable menu survival mode where you can design the game you want to play. And oh my God, can you imagine putting that on a randomizer, Andrew?
They're giving us custom worlds just on a ship.
I like it. Yeah. And this is for like the actual gameplay.
Yeah, this is
oh,
gameplay.
wow.
Yeah.
So that's custom worlds gameplay. And that would be amazing.
Huh.
Yeah, and that's something that No Man's Sky added a little over a year ago, and it made starting a new character fantastic. Just having so many options, you could really make some interesting starts.
Beautiful. I love that. I love that. And the shipbuilding options are saying decorations, rotation, new building options, and more. Next, official mod support coming to Starfield with the launch of Creations. And it says beginning early next year, Starfield will be getting its own exporter. Then you'll have access to a new creation kit. Modding has always been an enormous part of our games with incredible community content. With the scale and systems in Starfield, we can't wait to see what you come up with. So yeah, they're saying early in 2024. Now, what does early mean? Probably first half, but it could even mean first quarter. I feel like I interpret that as, March or April, first quarter, end of first quarter. But realistically, probably first half of the year.
Everything up to and including June 30th.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Let's see. And then their first story expansion, Shattered Space, of course, as planned, will be out. And then they're saying more info on all the above soon. But we hope you have a wonderful holiday season. Can't wait to continue this journey with you. So, big takeaway. First or next major update will be in February, and then approximately every 6 weeks after that, working on things on this list.
Any old Earth representations of Christmas that you have stumbled across in Starfield?
So, no, but I haven't gone to the given date, gone to actual Christmas and then checked different locations. I wonder if on the colony ship, the Constant or something, if maybe they do something there or elsewhere.
I just didn't know if they would carry traditions forward or, if the calendars match up or whatever,
Yeah. And Lee's asking, what is an exporter in this context? Lee, I'm not a modder as much, but I think it's essentially exporting assets and levels to work on in the creation kit and re-import. That's kind of how the creation kit, opens up a version of the game, and you can then export a current build state or your current game state, and then mod that, and then you create a mod from your game state. I think that's what it means, but it's not my specialty.
It's Vandalay Industries.
Indeed. So
right.
That is all my iguana bits, besides all the great stuff in the Atomic Shop and everything dropping. But we've already gone through all of that. I guess I would also mention, we're wrapping up Fallout for Hope season. And you might have seen there have been a couple things. Wasteland Theater Company, my crew, we got to run a Christmas Carol on the Bethesda channel on Wednesday. Wednesday at 2 p.m. Wonderful. We had a bunch of people watching. Nice. And that wasn't one that I did with them. That was one that the 5-0 did the filming for. But it's, our whole crew. And it was just a wonderful presentation. Really fun to see again. And yeah, as far as stuff from Bethesda, they're going to be quiet the next couple of weeks. They always take at least 2 weeks around the holiday. And I think it's the same this year, if not 3. So
yeah,
good for them.
They earned it.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Exactly. The only other article that might be fun for people is if you are looking at your Fallout 4 mod list and this and that, there is a new featured mods list. They haven't done one of these in a little while, but they've done a featured community creations for Skyrim and Fallout 4. They're calling it that now because it's still mods for Fallout and it's now community creations for Skyrim. So they're just calling the whole thing that. But yeah, the featured ones for Skyrim are actually some of the town things. So Kynes Grove and the remade Dawnstar by Arthmore, Unique Taverns, Dragon Bridge. The Unique Taverns, such a great. Do you run that mod at all? Ray, do you know?
No.
I keep it on Xbox on my main playthrough, and originally I just did one. I think it was Unique Taverns for Old Rolden Town, but basically what it does. But now I have all of them.
Can you say that again, please?
Old Rolden Town. I told you I'm sleepy. I might have stumbled a little bit. That's the inn with the ghost. You know, old Frolden Town. When you're walking down the road,
Frolden Town,
on your way to Markarth.
Yeah. Frolden.
Hroldan. Home of the old Frolden Inn.
I wasn't trying to make fun of you. I was just like, wait, what was that town?
Yeah, I don't speak Nord.
Frolden Town.
But anyway, the Unique Taverns, basically because a lot of the taverns are very similar. You know, you walk into them, they're built like a longhouse. You got your fire pit, you got your table, you got your guy at the end selling you stuff. So Shezri, I believe is the modder who has been doing these, did a bunch of them. So there's Dragon Bridge, which, near Solitude, the Winterhold Tavern, which is great. There's the Tavern in the Hills, west of Windhelm. When you're going from Windhelm up the hills, kind of towards
Nightgate Inn.
Yes, Nightgate. Oh, I love that one. She did a great job on that. So, anyways, Unique Taverns, check them out. They're some of my favorite little area space mods that you can put in a build without causing any trouble. Fallout 4, though, they have a Far Harbor home, which looks interesting, an iBot follower, a few things like that. So, actually, these ones for Fallout 4 are kind of classics. I think most of these have been out for a while, but they're just recommending ones that they've tested and are enjoying.
iBot follower, huh?
I like iBots.
I like the helmet. You ever wear one of those around? Those are pretty
hard
fun.
to see. It's a little hard to see with the helmet on, but it's pretty darn cool.
It's neat.
You can make you can make eating noises. You can walk around going beep beep boop boop. You might make your little beeps and boops walking around.
Make your robot sounds. I would put it on followers because I thought it looked cool. I put it on. I put Preston in a Brotherhood, one of those orange Brotherhood jumpsuits with the iBot helmet. I thought that looked really funny. Plus, just the irony
hilarious.
of having Preston in the Brotherhood suit was just rich for some reason. I don't know why.
Too great. Yeah, iBots are fun. My last Fallout 4 playthrough, one of the mods I installed that I mentioned at that time was replacing all of your you can make it so all the merchant caravans have iBots, but also your provisioners between towns. If you give all your provisioners iBots instead of Brahmin, yeah, you might miss the Brahmin galloping to catch up and getting stuck on the riff. But it was actually really cool seeing them wandering around with iBots behind them carrying the loot. I enjoyed that. It looked really good.
Oh, it replaces the Brahmin.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I see. Yeah.
Yeah, so you got your provisioner walk in with the iBot following them instead.
And that's mainly why whenever I had a robot follower, I would always give them the Mr. Handy Jet Thruster instead of like the Sentry Bot Treads. Or if you give them the Sentry Bot Treads, you will be waiting at door frames every 30 seconds for those things. That's terrible.
Mm-hmm. Do you see this little man behind me on the floor?
Boof, he said it's time.
You just heard him. Yeah, he's saying, you guys wrap it up. I'm on the floor. I'm buffing.
Boof.
He's
Boof.
like, I'm tired of my bed. I'm going to come where Mama has to look at me.
It's time, Mama. It's time. All right. Did you guys have any other things that you would like to discuss on the show this week?
I am all good there. I shared on the Facebook group, but a YouTuber just 3 days ago put out an amazing Doctor Evil and Fallout 4 video that is so well integrated, hilarious, well worth the watch.
Oh, nice. I think I saw you post that. I'll have to go check it out. All right, guys. You can find him over there on the Twitters at RayLB. Also at BBCISSS for all your No Man's Sky needs. Ray, happy holidays, sir, and thank you for hopping on tonight.
You bet. Good times.
Jess can be found at Sleep is 4T. Also, I guess you Wastelanders needs to be reactivated back into the activated.
We never totally went away, but yeah, we did a stream. I got another one Tuesday doing the big old Dweller drop. So, got things happening.
All right. At you Wastelanders going forward, and also at Dames Who Game. Jess, thanks so much.
Merry Christmas and happy holidays, all y'all.
I can be found at In the Android. The show is at the Fallout Feed. I'd like to thank everyone for downloading this edition of the Fallout Feed. Happy holidays, and we'll see you in the Wasteland.
Thank you for downloading this episode of the Fallout Feed Roundtable. If you are interested in doing a play-along character with us, the show can be contacted by emailing falloutroundtable@gmail.com. For the Roundtable schedule, our Amazon link, and all other show information, please head on over to asapodcasting.com, where you will find the Fallout Feed, a Skyrimatic podcast, our YouTube channel, the Chatterbox, as well as other content. Once again, thank you for downloading, and we'll see you in the Wasteland.
Beep, beep, boop, boop. Like just slipping into the inky black. Dun, 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 dun.
Belch.
Dun, 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 dun. Mouth noises, y'all. Mouth noises.